Okay, so what's going on? We're now September 27th, maybe early 28th.
20th.
28th, early in the morning on Saturday. Tell me what's been happening in the last little while.
Well, basically, in a nutshell, what has happened is that the Pope squad has been transferred from, a political action and sort of the domain of OCAP to, the residents. And this is what we were planning from the beginning. The residents would eventually take charge of things, and, for a while it was sort of in question as to how much the residents were willing to do that. But last Saturday we had a work day, which I see as being sort of a catalyst in the morning. And, for a couple of weeks, the people who lived here were helping out periodically, but not really doing any work. In the morning on last Saturday, OCAP people came in and they did what they normally do on a work day, and that is work on the model suite. And, people did good work, but it was like a typical work day. 20 people were here, there were 2 drills, there were a couple of saws. There were not enough tools for everyone.
You're short of tools.
Yeah, I mean,
What's
it was sort of like...
What sort of tools do you need?
Well, we need drills and, hammers and nails and stuff like that. But the main issue was
Are we bothering you? No.
So, people were just there were too many people for the amount of tools we had and for the amount of work that needed to be done. People just got in the way. So what was really empowering to me was that night, OCAP people worked here from about 8 a.m. until 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and that was usual. But then at about 8 p.m. that night, a couple of the residents decided we're going to turn on, at that point we had only had the water on in 1 room and the power on in 2 rooms, and they decided we're going to have the power and the water on in the entire house. And so they started working on it, and people worked from 8 p.m. until about 4 a.m.
And what happened?
And we got the water and the power on in the entire house.
You didn't stop there though.
And this, well, I mean, there was other. Well, the TV is on. That's.
Don't tell me you have cable here.
We do have cable. That was hooked up a while ago. One of the people here just knows how to steal cable and
share
it up.
Share cable.
Share cable. Yes.
So it sounds like things are going well.
Yes, the people here have really surprised me, honestly. Just as a whole, people have really, taken charge of their own environment, and this is really turning into a co-op, or a co-op sort of environment. People are coming to meetings, people that I never imagined coming to resident meetings are coming out to meetings and are having their opinions heard and are saying, we want a definite say in the way that this goes. And it has nothing to do with politics, it has nothing to do with OCAP. It has to do with people taking charge of their own lives and saying, this is our environment, this is our room, this is our house, and we're going to be in charge of it. We're going to say, we want to know what's going on here. And
how many people are living here
now? Well, regularly about 20. There are some people staying outside and some people sleeping in the emergency space, so in total it's about 30.
And it's a 24 room. It's 24 rooms or so?
It has 21 rooms. A couple of the rooms are shared. A few of the rooms are emergency space or communal space. So obviously we don't have enough room for everyone. We're trying to accommodate people as well as we can right now, but there's a definite crowd that has become, the Pope squad people, either, people who sleep in here or are taking some responsibility for the house, or just people who sleep outside but are still around.
Now, how about food? How's food going?
Food is actually, we relied for a long time on donations. Just from the community, from activist groups and so on. At this point, residents are sort of taking charge of the food situation. A lot of people have been buying food and putting it in the fridges downstairs. A lot of people have been going to food banks.
Do you have fridges set up?
Yeah, we have 4 fridges.
Were you here when the fridge that I sent over arrived?
Yes.
On the bicycle?
Yeah, I carried it upstairs
Can you believe
with
you
like
delivered that on a bike?
one other person. Yeah, it was amazing. We got pictures of it and everything. You know, a guy delivering a fridge on a bike.
So who's got my fridge now?
Great. It's in the what we call the model suite downstairs.
The model
Wait,
suite with
yeah.
the model fridge.
We're renovating it to be the model suite. It should be ready by October 1st, actually. So we have 3 fridges in there, or actually 2 full-size fridges, 1 sort of bar fridge in there.
Now, question about the tent city was shut down the other day. Is there worry that the cops might move in here and kick you out?
Originally, there was a lot of concern about that, but now I think people have sort of calmed down, and like my own perspective is that it has to do with ownership. Tent City, people knew who owned it, and they
Yeah.
knew that Home Depot was not satisfied with them being there, or not happy with them being there.
Who owns it?
It was just, who owns this? Well, you know, legally the province owns it, but they have not acknowledged ownership. That's the main difference.
They're not big fans of OCAP, though.
No. No, of course not, but I mean, we have contacts within the city and within the province, and none of them are really huge fans of OCAP, but it doesn't really matter because the city and the province are going to do what is in their best interest. They're going to do what they see as being profitable, and it has nothing to do with whether they like OCAP or not. Chris Kaczynski hates OCAP, yet he made a concession to us. On August 1st, he pushed through the city council motion that said this should be turned into affordable housing, and he despises OCAP. The last thing he wants to see is OCAP having a victory here.
Let me ask you something. I was talking with Chris Kaczynski the other day about the squat. I asked him if he'd seen it. He said he hadn't. Would you give him a tour? Would you be interested in showing him around?
We'll give anyone a tour, but it depends on who's here and what, like, their current situation is. If the residents here say we would prefer not to have someone, like, give someone a tour right now, then that's fine. I mean, there's not very much point to a tour at this point because every single room is taken.
Yeah,
so
but
you're going to have a tour of a room where all the doors are a tour of a house where all the doors are shut.
No, but he has this idea that it's somehow dangerous in here, that it's OCAP, that, you know, it's the fire hazard, the people are responsible, all this kind of stuff.
Then he should talk to the fire inspectors and the health inspectors who have been through here and have deemed it safe, aside from a couple of concerns which were basically outside, such as the compost and the place we had, stored the wood.
What's the problem with the compost?
The compost was not supposed to be so close to the house.
So has it been moved?
Yes. Yes, I don't know what exactly was the issue with that, but the fire inspector and the health inspector had a problem with it.
Anything else you want to add? I know you're getting up in a couple hours, so I don't want to keep you too late. What's doing the early morning renovation tomorrow?
There's a work day tomorrow. Yeah.
What time does it start?
It starts at either 10 or 11 a.m.
Every Saturday.
Yes.
So people should come by.
Yes, they
bring
should.
their tools.
Yes.
Anything else?
Just
Maybe some
that
snacks?
I want to reiterate, I think that people who support this action politically should support the fact that it is no longer in a political direction. A lot of people have come by here and said, where are all the activists? Where is OCAP? What's going on here? And they don't quite understand what we're doing. I mean, we said that what we want to do is create housing for homeless people, and this is what we've done. We've created housing for homeless people, and homeless people are running this place, and I see that as being the biggest victory of all. It doesn't matter that there aren't many activists around here anymore. It doesn't matter that we're not guarding this place 24 hours a day. The point is, people who need housing are getting housing. I see that as being so important, and people who haven't been here through the whole process simply can't understand, the way that that's taken place. But, anyone who's critical, they should really take a closer look, because it has taken place. This is housing for homeless people. This is cooperation in many senses. This is communism or anarchism. This is people are coming here. People who are used to living on the streets. People who have been beaten down by the system, who have been told nothing more than all you have is to look out for yourself. They're coming here and they're putting their food in the fridge and they're leaving their stuff laying around, and they're understanding sharing, and they're understanding like community. And that's something that, I mean, I personally have witnessed that I can't explain. I can't explain these people who have been told their entire life, you only have to look out for yourself, everyone is out to get you, fuck the world. Yet they come here and they're willing to share they're willing to share things with their neighbors. This doesn't make sense, other than, the things that OCAP is talking about, the things that other activists are talking about.
Can I ask you a question?
Matter. Sorry.
No, that was really good. What about, you were saying a cooperative or some kind of other structure of setting up? Have you explored that? Is that actually?
Well, we've explored it legally.
Mm-hmm.
Legally, we have explored like forming a cooperative. The reason we are not incorporating as a cooperative is because it's too much paperwork, and because like there was a law passed recently that allows a corporation to be a charitable cooperative, and that's the only thing that would really apply to this place, except it doesn't get us any more, it would never get us any more funding. It would only mean more paperwork for us.
A charitable cooperative?
Yes. What we're doing right now is incorporating, like forming a corporation called Norm's House, and then we're going to register that corporation as a charity or a nonprofit. So, I mean, we could register it as a cooperative and then, subsequently a charitable cooperative, but that would take close to a year, and there's no point in doing that when it doesn't mean any more funding for us. We're trying to get incorporated as fast as possible for a number of reasons, but then get incorporated as a charity for other reasons, like reasons of funding for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Great. Anything else to add?
No, that's all.
Okay.